that were with me last year, I did this presentation in a much more in-depth version for 2014. It is on the website, sunshinestateromanceauthors.com. We are recording this year's as well. But you'll be able to see a lot more about goals last year. I didn't go into goals as much this year. So the agenda right now is we're going to talk really quickly about what we've done for 2014 in Sunshine State Romance Authors and what we're going to do in 2015. We're going to do a very quick overview of RWA and SSRA. Most of you were here last year. You know that information already. And we're going to talk about your passport to success, which is the biggest part of this presentation. I want to tell you how you can achieve your writer goals for this year. We're going to talk a little bit about making goals, and we're actually going to have you write the goals on the sheet that came around. Okay. RWA, Romance Writers of America. Everybody in here, I believe, is a RWA member, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but for those of you joining us online, RWA is a nonprofit membership, 501c6 organization, which is dedicated to advancing the interests of career-focused romance writers. That becomes very, very important because their mission is to advance the professional interests of those writers through networking and advocacy. It is the largest fiction writers association of all of them. It's more than 30 years old, and as you can see, there's a number of chapters as well. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about why would you belong to RWA. What I like about RWA is they believe the pursuit of a writing career begins before your first sale, which is why you're all here. A lot of you that are here today have not sold your first book, do not have your first contract. So RWA is not only for people that are already published. RWA does require chapters to be incorporated to protect our individual members. So as you know, Sunshine State Romance Authors is an Inc. RWA also provides chapter support, education. There's the RWR that comes every month. You guys are getting that and reading it, right? There's also a lot of web and online resources. I'm not going to go into those. Cheryl's going to talk about them in her portion shortly. And there's a lot of conference and networking opportunities. It does show that you're serious about your career as a writer. So I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are all members. I know you know that. Sunshine State Romance Authors, for those of you joining us online, we are RWA chapter number 225. We were established in 2011. It's only $20 to be a member of our illustrious chapter. And our mission is very similar to RWA, as you'll notice. It's to promote excellence in all genres of romance fiction, to help writers at all stages of their writing careers through innovative programs, networking opportunities with industry professionals, and to provide a valuable support system as they enter this dynamic field. What I like best is that we help you fill your writer's toolbox. Let me ask you a question. Is your writer's toolbox ever full?
No.
Ever? No. How many books have you published, Loretta?
16.
Is your toolbox full?
Oh, no.
Do you know everything there is to know about being a writer? No. So we help you in all stages. The reason I'm so passionate about belonging to RWA and SSRA, especially SSRA, is because I believe that success breeds success. To be successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people, okay, with the same goals that you have. When SSRA began, we had 4 published authors. Today, we have 11 published authors. It's like a 200% increase in the short amount of time that we have been in existence. 2 last year achieved Pro. 3 that got the Pro last year got a contract in 2014. 4 people completed their passport to success, which I'm going to talk about in a second. 4 people did that last year in 2014. Of those, 2 received a contract. 1 is suspiciously close to a contract, and so is another one. So, y'all are on my radar. But the key is, it works. This is what I would have given my eye teeth for before it was published, is can someone give me a dang checklist? What do I need to do to get published? And I will do it. And that's what we provided for you here with Sunshine State Romance Authors, in addition to all of our monthly workshops. Our published authors, which I'm really proud of, our published authors, we don't sit on our laurels. We have a lot of internal contests to keep motivating us. So we're producing and publishing every year. Every one of our published authors, unless I'm mistaken, every single one of us put out at least 1 more book last year, correct? Right? Yeah, I'm getting nods, yeah. So every one of us put 1 book out last year. Some of them did 2 or 3. I did 2. It was like my first time I've ever done 2. It's pretty exciting. So I'm not a Loretta yet, where I'm doing like 3, 4, books a year, but I'm working hard. So, are you guys ready to be successful this year?
Yes.
I need to hear it more. Are you guys ready to be successful?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about how we're going to get there. All right, Bug Blue. I got to read this because it's so cute, Beverly. I did borrow it from our member, Beverly Baker, who wrote this fantastic poem. We have what's called butt glue in our chapter, and that helps us apply the perseverance, basically, to sit in your seat, AIC, put your rear end in the chair, right? AIC for a certain amount of time, and the butt glue helps us to do this. So she wrote a little ode to butt glue, which I think is super cute. It's one of the fun things that we do as a chapter. It's not all about work, 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 and we try to make the work fun. Little bottle, orange and white, help me write my words tonight. There you stand, so blank and white, like the page on which I write. When my inspiration's slowing, help me keep the word count flowing. When my plot gets trite and tricky, that is when glue's not sticky. When my storyline is tragic, it's mathematic, it's not magic. Keep me going till I make it, till some agent says, I'll take it. Till the day I write the end, be my steadfast, stick-fast friend. One of our really creative members wrote that. That's just, I put this up here to illustrate that we try to do even just fun things to get you all to be productive and get where you need to be in your writing career. But we also have a lot of work that you can do. And in your toolbox, let's check your toolbox. It is never full. There's a lot of freebies. I want to see hands. Who has taken a free webinar from RWA last year? All right, can you hand out tickets to everyone who had their hand out for me? Everyone's going to get a ticket. I have some giveaways at the end. Everyone's going to get a ticket. If you took a free webinar, Michelle's going to give you some tickets. Who attended all of our monthly programs last year? All of them. All of them.
When we were away for another conference.
Okay. So we have a couple who attended all. Do you guys get tickets? Who borrowed from the lending library? Let Jennifer know she's going to give you a ticket. Proby, who went to all Proby meetings, last year. I know we had a couple. They get a ticket. Jennifer, you're going to be handing out a lot of tickets here. And PanB, who attended all PanB meetings.
Keep me up to date.
Okay. Critique partners and beta readers who made use of our critique partner and beta reader program last year. We've got a couple more. Okay.
I have a beta reader. If we
So-
were one, do we count?
So we have a lot as members that you can take advantage of that's free to you, that costs nothing. We also have some things that are at a cost in our workshops and conferences. We have one in February, publishing options. I know I've asked you guys already, pretty much I think 98 or 99% of you are going. That's going to talk about the different options you have for publishing. There's also a national conference and other area conferences that we notify you guys about, as you know, from the meeting. So let's talk about success. Winston Churchill says, some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard at it. Okay? I talk all the time that it's not magic, it's mathematics, but that mathematics does not apply if you don't get up and do it every single day. You guys are responsible for doing it every single day. So, I always wanted one of these. I want someone to just tell me, what do I need to do to better my chances at being published and being successful as a writer? Because also, if you're already published, there's things in here for you as well. So Jennifer, if I could give you these, I'm sorry, my little short one right now. If you want to pass out the passport to success, some of them, I will be honest with you, there's a test called the ASVAB, which demonstrates your capabilities with like how things work and which way gears go and things like that. I was a miserable failure at every ASVAB I took. So I would never be good at any kind of job like that. So you'll see that some of them are backwards on the inside, and I apologize for that. I'm not great at figuring out which page orientation to use. All right, so let's talk about achieving for this year. We have 3 things that you can achieve this year. You can achieve all the things to check off your pro list for this year, which is in the center of your passport. You can achieve all the things to check off your PAN list. You may not achieve pro or PAN. This is your passport to getting there, okay? We also have a very new thing this year based on some feedback from the board. On the back, I also have a very new thing. It's called your Pearl. You can also work to check off for your Pearl list. We're going to talk about that in a second. But just to let you guys know, the dictionary is the only place where success comes before work. If you want it, you have to work for it, okay? And as I always say, it's not magic, it's mathematics. If you do the right things over and over again, and with enthusiasm and with heart, you will get there. You will succeed. You just have to keep going. As one of our members demonstrated earlier, she had submitted manuscripts 16 times and was rejected. On the 17th time, she had a hit. Had she quit, she wouldn't have gotten the yes, okay? So let's look at the passport really quick. For those of you that have been with SSRA, you've seen a lot of this before. The inside of the passport is a lot of the same stuff. On this side is the general things that you should already be doing. You should already have technology, a computer, a browser version that's an industry standard, or at least within a version or so of the industry standard, okay? If you're still using, I guess, Vista at this point, Cheryl?
Yeah.
If it's Vista at this point, or XP, probably XP. If it's XP,
Older than 50.
yeah, if it's XP, you don't have the right operating system. You should be upgraded, and probably even maybe Vista. But certainly XP, you're out of date. You should be upgraded. 8's already out, so you have to stay. You know, that's part of your investment in your career. A lot of your forms that you have to download, or the ways that you communicate to agents and editors. If you have an older operating system, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to e-sign your contract. You're not going to be able to do these things if you have an older browser. An older operating system and an older browser as well. But okay, RWA free benefits for you. Have all you guys signed up for some? Signed up for your My RWA. You get the chapter events. I'm not giving them to you. I don't spoon feed. My children are older, I don't spoon feed them. I don't spoon feed you. Chapter events are on there. You're a member. There's no reason I need to forward you chapter events. You all should be a member of My RWA. You were given that information when you signed up with RWA. You all should be subscribed to that forum. Okay? If you're not, this is your year. Subscribe. You can get all of the contests, the conferences, all of the information that you need. We do not reiterate that in the meetings. Okay? You should try to sign up for the RWA University classes. They have free ones every single month, and they're good, people. They're good classes. You don't even have to pay a cent. And there's also SSRA free benefits to you, and you can go ahead and take a look at those. We're going to talk about those a little bit more in a second as far as the Yahoo Loop and the website, so I'm not going to go over that. If you want to be pro, there's some goals on here, things that you can be doing this year. Concrete, definitive, here's what you need to do goals. As we mentioned a couple slides ago, the people who completed this list and checked off all the things on Pro, 2 of them got a contract. Of the 4 that completed it, 2 got a contract. 50% of the people who did this succeeded, okay? It works. PAN, same thing, if you guys already published. I've done every single thing on here, so it's a way to maximize your visibility, maximize your sales, maximize your exposure to your audience. Utilize the tools that your readers are using right now. On the back is a brand new one that I want to spend a little bit of time on. It's called the Passport Pearl. Every single person who earns a Passport Pearl this year will get a little gift that I've created for you. It's a little book. It looks like sacrilege, but I promise it's a book that was destined to be thrown out because I've gotten it from the thrift store, and they were damaged books, so they were going to be thrown out. But this is the folding stuff that they do, and you basically convert it into it's a little photo holder. So it holds your little photos and business cards. It's like a little file of facts. I'm going to personally make one for each of you because I want you guys to all be pearls. Pearls is our way of giving back, okay? Once you have achieved a status, whether it's pro, whether it's PAN, whether it's published, whatever it is, I believe we all have an obligation to pay it forward. This chapter is not successful if we all don't share and try to pull everybody up. If we pull everyone up, median now becomes here. If our median's here, now our median becomes here, and then it's here, and then it's here. If we're always raising the bar, we all benefit from that, which is, I think, one of the most exciting things about being with Sunshine State Romance authors. It's something that I've taken from this group because, let me tell you, before I was with SSRA, I had a dearth of time where I didn't publish anything. I published my first manuscript in 2007, and I sat back and said, there, I'm published. That means I'm done. It does not mean you're done, and you are not on the New York Times bestsellers list, typically with your first novel. So, when I joined SSRA, though, I got that positive peer pressure. I got that fire under me again. And I went in and published, I've published 3 more novels since I've been a member of SSRA. So it's a huge benefit to you, even if you're already published, to make you sit down, apply that butt glue, walk how you talk, or walk the talk, or talk the walk, you know what I'm saying. So it's a good thing. So let's talk about the passport pearls. As you can see, I love acronyms. It's so much fun. So I made an acronym for SSRA. The first one is S for share. Share the impact SSRA has had on your writing career via any one of your personal social media platforms, okay? I shared with you at the meeting today someone's blog post that they put on there about how SSRA has furthered their career. If you do that and you share how SSRA has impacted your career, let me know, bring a copy of it to me, send it to me on Facebook or send me the blog post or whatever you want to do, and I'll give you a little stamp and you will have completed that S for your Pearl. You have to complete all to receive your Pearl prize. And there's also going to be an end of the year prize. We haven't really decided about it at the board, but maybe it might be a Pearl necklace or a Pearl something related. It will be your prize. All those people that have done a Pearl will be in a drawing for a prize at the end of the year. Support is the next one. Give a less experienced SSRA member the gift of your support time in a one-on-one session. Not a million people in you and one other person. Maybe you'll meet at McDonald's, maybe you meet before the SSRA meeting or after or something like that. Give them some time because you know when you first started how beneficial that one-on-one time was to you, right? Well, I'm asking for you to pay it forward. This chapter can only succeed if everybody works to do that. Okay? So again, you have to complete it. Tell me which member you helped, and then I will verify that that happened and stamp it. Next one is recruit. Recruit a writer friend to join you at a meeting. They don't have to join. You get them here, it's my job to make them join. Okay? You get them here, then it's my job. But if you get them here, you bring a friend, not your spouse, y'all. Someone who actually wants to write, not someone that you're making come. So bring a friend who wants to write and share, your love of SSRA with that friend by having them join you. And let me know, I will stamp your passport, and you will have completed that part of your Pearl. And the last one is assist. Assist, and this is really important, assist in an assigned SSRA task to benefit the chapter as requested by an SSRA officer. I have several things on my goals list this year, and I am only one person, and I am not going to be able to complete that by myself. I do need assistance. Cheryl needs assistance with the website. Jessica needs assistance with programming and getting the word out on certain things. And Jennifer needs assistance in her secretarial job. And Barry needs assistance in his position as treasurer. If you help an officer in an assigned task, you will also receive that part of your Pearl as a stamp. Okay? Any questions on the Pearl? It's brand new. No questions? Okay, good news. All right. So let's talk about goals. I sent around a sheet that you guys can sign up. I hope you're writing down your goal because that's going to come with me at every meeting and it's going to be paraded around at the end of the year. Write them down. I suggest you create SMART goals. I'm not going to do an in-depth on what a goal is because that's in the 2014 presentation. Please go to the website, pull it up. It's under 2014 Passport to Success. Watch that video. You'll see me a year ago. Hopefully I'm a little thinner. I don't know. But I will tell you what you need to do a SMART goal. And SMART means it's specific. So you don't say, for example, if you want to get published, you don't say, I want to get published. It's not specific. It needs to be something that you control and something specific. I'm going to submit my manuscript to 10 vetted agents this year. That's specific, okay? Measurable. Can you measure it? Can you tell when it's done? Can you tell when your mile markers are? Okay, so that's why we do things like Roger News and things like the Pearl. Can you tell when you're done? Can you tell where you are in the process? Is it attainable? For me to say, I want to hit the New York Times bestsellers list, I don't control that. I'd like to, but I don't control it. So for me to say I'd like to hit the New York Times bestsellers list, not only is it not specific, but it's not something that I control, so it's not attainable for I might achieve it. It might be attainable for me to achieve, but it's not attainable for me to impact that I can achieve that result. Does that make sense? Okay. Realistic. Is what you're asking for realistic? If you have a goal of I want to write 4 novels this year, make sure it's realistic for you to do so. Okay? Make sure it's something that you can actually do because otherwise it's very demotivating for yourself. And you have to have it be time-bound or tangible. You have to have a deadline, a date where it's due. I want to do this by this date. Okay, make sense? All right, and it has to be, I always believe in the KISS rule, keep it simple, sweetie. So 3 ways to see if your goals are smart. Are they behavioral? Is the behavior something you can observe? Okay? Is it something you're in 100% control of? So the New York Times bestsellers list, I am not in 100% control of that. But I am in 100% control of the promotions I do for my books, right? So I can instead say I want to do a Goodreads promotion 3 different times this year, or I want to have reader contests, 2 different reader contests, or I want to do YouTube videos, a certain amount of YouTube videos to promote my book, or I'm going to read the first chapter. There are several things that I can do to maybe have more sales, but as far as control, you got to make sure you're in control of the result. And of course, does it have a concrete end date, and is your progress measurable along the way? So we already talked about bad writing goals. These are bad writing goals because they don't conform to the SMART list that we just talked about. If you put one of those on the piece of paper, please cross it off and give me a SMART goal. Okay? Your 2015 goals, what are they? Okay? Studies prove that if you write it down, that's why I'm making you guys do this painfulness, okay? If you write it down, studies prove you are 40% more likely to achieve it if you write it down and make it public. So I'm making you do it. Write it down, make it public. For those of you joining us online, great way to do that is to put it in your blog. I've done that before. Put it on your Facebook post. I've done that before. One of my goals this year I already achieved, which was going from a physical planner to everything on an electronic planner. Hurts. Let me tell you. And they're really painful. I'm a diehard Franklin Covey user, like through and through. I love my Franklin Covey. And I had to give that up. And not having that physical calendar to flip through has been a real big transition for me. And honestly, the way I did it is I went on Facebook first and said, this is what I'm doing. What do you guys recommend that I use as an e-planner? And I didn't want to do it really bad. But I had to do it because I put it out there. It was my commitment to the public. And I got suggestions. And one of the suggestions I ended up using, and it was fantastic. And it's going well. I'm surprised because I was really nervous about that. But that's what I'm saying. If you put it out there, you're more likely to achieve that goal. Whereas if I had just said, I want to go to an e-planner, I'm not going to tell people, I'd probably still be sitting here with my Franklin Covey, my beloved Franklin Covey. I didn't throw him out yet, by the way. Okay. And Essay Lauder, a great quote, is, I never dreamed about success, I worked for it. And that is true. You have to work for it. It doesn't just come to you. One last thing I'm going to go over, and I'm going to turn it over. So I want to talk about 12 things that successful people do differently. I did not come up with this. I borrowed this from www.dailyquotes.co. And they have a lot of really cool things on their site. So number 1, they create and pursue focused goals. That's why I'm making you do this. Okay, successful people do that. They take decisive and immediate action. That's why you have a passport. What is your immediate action? What are you going to do this month, next month, March? What is your steps to make sure that you succeed? They focus on being productive, not being busy. And those of you that have ever worked in an office, you know what I mean, right? You know the busy people. They succeed at wandering around. It's like I used to call it MBWA, management by walking around. Because that's what they did. They thought they were managing just because they were cruising the floor. So focus on being productive, not being busy. There is a difference. They make logical, informed decisions, okay? And that's why we have your passport, because you want to be able to decide if what you're doing is being effective. They avoid the trap of trying to make things perfect. Who here does that? I'm looking at some of you because I know you do that. Who here thinks the manuscript has to be perfect? Hey, you don't. Done is better than perfect, okay? Don't focus on being perfect. You will never be perfect. Give up the dream, okay? You do the best you can, all right? You work outside of your comfort zone. That's why I'm making you do this. Isn't this uncomfortable? It's awkward. If your goal doesn't make you a little bit sick to your stomach, you didn't make a good goal. Do another one. You should be a little sick to your stomach about it, okay? I was really sick to my stomach about my planner, let me tell you. And that was a little tiny goal, but I have some really big goals this year that I'm a little bit sick to my stomach about, because it's going to require a big commitment for me. Not that, I'm willing to do it, but it should make you uncomfortable, okay? If it doesn't, go back to that sheet and erase it and put a new one down. All right, keep things simple. I'm a big advocate for making it simple. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Focus on making small, continuous improvements. As you guys know, I used to run marathons quite a bit. And 26.2 miles, if you think to yourself at the beginning, I got 26.2 miles to run. Oh my gosh, that is so daunting at the beginning of the race. I never think about how much is left to go. I only think about the next for me, hydration station, because I'm all into like, when am I going to get something to eat next, and when am I going to drink next? So it's always about, for me, the next station. Okay, I got 2 more miles until the next drink station, and then I got 2 more miles, and then I'll be at 10 miles, and I get 2 more miles to this, and 2 more. Give yourself milestones, because there's nothing more daunting than having in front of you, I got to get 85,000 words done, or 95,000 words done, or whatever it is. It's like, what's that saying? That you can eat an elephant, but you got to start one bite at a time, right? So don't think about the elephant, just focus on your bites. Focus on what's next in your milestones, okay? That's really important, because if you don't do that, you can get really, what's the word I'm looking for? Really
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed, yes, really overwhelmed, and you give up when you're overwhelmed. If it's something that daunting, it looks like you can't do it. Give yourself little steps. Don't look at the goal. You know it's there. Just ignore it for a little while. Just give yourself little milestones to get there, okay? All right, measure and track your progress. That kind of goes along with the milestones, because if you can, I'm all about lists. I love lists. So if you can have a list you can check off, or a barometer, or however you want to mark that goal, do that. It's fantastic for the psyche. It really helps to get you motivated and to keep that motivation going. Because as one of the members said, they were real motivated after hearing me talk in January, and then they kind of lost steam in March and April and whatever. And that's so normal. So you have to find ways to re-motivate yourself. Give yourself another milestone. Okay, maintain a positive attitude as you learn from mistakes. That kind of goes along with being perfect. You're going to run into hiccups along the way. You're going to fall down and skin your knees. The successful person gets up and keeps running. Every published person in this room has skinned their knees on something before, right? You just have to get up and keep going. Spend your time with motivational people. That's why you're here. Yes? Yeah, we're all motivating each other. That's why we have the passport and the pearls and everything else, because when you spend time with people that have your life goals, you are that much more likely to achieve your own goals. And maintain balance in your life. You can't be all about the writing. We can't be all about just one thing. We wouldn't be a balanced person if you were. So make sure that your writing fits in with the rest of your life, or you're not likely to achieve those goals. All right. That was so quick. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining me online, if you'd like to become a member of Sunshine State Romance Authors, we do offer virtual memberships. We do publish almost all of our workshops and programs online, but only for members. So if you'd like to join, it is $20 a year. You do have to be an RWA member to join. And the links for joining are right along the top of your screen if you'd like to click there. And for those of you who are already here, I look forward to an amazing 2015 with you guys. I look forward to reading your goals. I look forward to parading them around every single month for you. And I look forward to watching you achieve them as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.